Now, I know we all want to be carried by Marisa, but I am carried by Marisa. I made it to Master with almost zero understanding of what I'm supposed to do in neutral. That changes now. I've decided that until I hit 1500 MR again, I will only win games from neutral. That means no Oki, which is really hard to do as a Marisa player, since she and I thrive off of that. I can't overlook this weakness anymore, and starting today, this is where all my focus will go. I wanted to focus exclusively on neutral today, so I tried not to use any Oki. I'm in that corner, I can't do that. Right, no Oki. No Oki, don't worry about Oki right now. I wanted all of my attention to be focused on what will he do next. I ran a long set with this JP player. It was 15 to 12 in his favor. I realized that, honestly, I can catch stuff really well once I'm looking for them. But I was right about the whiff punish, the heavies. That's okay, I can hit those, Move up a little bit. Nice, baby! Sometimes I would only be looking for one option, and that made it really tough when I was wrong. I decided that I would try my best to always be on the lookout for two options, but the problem was that I kept switching what to look for. Jump or whiff I'm gonna look for now. Oh, okay. Okay, I was right. Okay. I think I'm gonna focus on doing two at a time. There's three main things I'm seeing: jump, whiff, and projectiles. I'm gonna focus on doing two at a time. So right now I see projectile, and I feel like I'm also gonna see jump in a minute. So I'm gonna look for EI on. That's a whiff. So I'm gonna look for projectile and whiff. All right, whiff. Oh, see, there's jump. So now I'm gonna look for jump and whiff, I think. Jump and whiff, jump and whiff, jump and whiff, jump and whiff. Okay, well that's projectile though, so okay, that's the thing, is that, so when should I change? I can definitely hit something if I'm looking for it. But when do I change what I'm looking for? That's the real question here. I wasn't sure when to look for projectile versus whiff versus walk forward or jump, and I tried to apply what I learned from last week here, but I wasn't exactly sure how I could use it in this scenario. I was still really lost, and that showed in rank later that day too. I fought a Ken player who did a lot of quick steps and forward dashes, and for some reason I just couldn't catch them well. I would kind of react, but then also sometimes I would do medium punch preemptively, and it got punished. It was so obvious, but I couldn't do anything about it. And then, I pressed standing medium kick. Maybe that's better. Maybe instead of reacting to it, I'm more preemptive. Maybe I just keep my foot out there, stop you from getting in my space. Damn! He couldn't forward step in on me anymore. He had to jump or outrange me. This made me think about two things. Should I be more preemptive? Medium kick worked fantastic to stop him from moving in, but I had to already be pressing it in order for it to work. And medium kick seems like the right tool for this job. Maybe I should assign all of my moves to situations so I can use them for their specific scenarios. Tomorrow, I'm going to focus on trying to be preemptive in my ground game, and explore new uses for moves that I don't use as often. I fought around for a little bit, and then I ran into my friend Goopy. He's a Kimberly main, and he uses her tools really well. Usually, I think my win rate is like 60% in my favor, but now that I'm focusing on only neutral right now, I'm getting smoked. And that's when I realized I am actually super carried by Marisa's advantage state. The problem with that is I need to win neutral before I can get there. I'm getting bodied by most master ranks because my gameplay is lopsided. At any rate, I fought a longer set with Goopy, and it was way tougher when I only focused on neutral. I saw medium range pokes, slides, teleports, There was so much to deal with, and I was just still super lost when I was trying to counter each thing. Not really having a solid plan for neutral started really chipping away at my determination. I fought him unknown, and I knew it would either be heavy kick or jump, and even though I was right, my positioning made it so even if I backed up for space to whiff punish, it didn't matter, and it would just force me to block anyway. I don't deserve that. I was doing back heavy. Like, I had to move back so much that I'm getting back heavy. See, he can just walk forward and do that. He can literally just walk forward and do that. But that's what I mean. If he had walked forward and kept and went heavy here, this is the dilemma. I'm slow enough that I have to commit to reading a single option here. I have to commit to, okay, you are going to heavy here, so I'm going to DI here. Or you are going to jump here, so I'm going to uppercut here. I can't be ready for both if he's walking forward. And I can't medium him because he outranges me. Heavy's going to outrange that every day. I could even get punish countered for that, which is even worse. What is the difference? Like, I talked about it here where it's like, he does heavy here until I start doing Gladius, and I'm showing him Gladius. I'm like, hey, if you do another heavy, you're getting duffed in the face. And he's like, alright, bet, I'm going to jump now. And that's the right play. I mean, he could have hit me here. He could have got me, but he didn't. So when we're in the same position again, essentially, where he's at good spacing for heavy, but he jumps instead, how do I know he's not going to jump here? I have to be ready for heavy and for jump. And I can't properly position myself to whiff punish heavy because she can just walk forward and do it, and I can't really do anything about that. This is the dilemma. I know it's going to be heavy or jump. I know that for a fact. I just happened to be right this time. But if it was going to be jump instead, I would have died. I would have taken big damage for doing that. That's why it feels like such a guessing game for me. Even though I knew what was coming, I physically couldn't position myself to react with whiff punish. That meant I had no choice here but to commit to DI or Gladius against the heavy. But that was the problem. How do I know it won't be jump? I did some analysis on it, and I don't like that because then I have to just guess heavy or jump, and guessing doesn't make sense. I went back and forth with myself. Do I stay preemptive and keep attacks out to stop them from moving in? When I do that, sometimes I get punish countered by accident. Do I just say fuck it and send it with my offense? I pondered that for a while, and I wondered if I could create a really good offense without it just turning into a guessing game, and it really just didn't work out well for me. Plus, I remember having that mindset when I fought a really great Cammy player, and he shut that down immediately. After watching my MR plummet for the third time in a row, I got really discouraged. I was literally 2.5 pages away from being the worst master rank in the world. Bro, I'm literally 2.5 pages from being the worst, the worst master rank. But it doesn't matter, because like we said, we're just focusing on neutral so we can understand the game. I'm still trying to keep my head up and focused though. My MR is going down because I'm forcing myself to play neutral only. I'm exposing my weakness to ranked and taking my strengths out of the equation so I can focus extra hard on it. Right now, I'm extremely lost in neutral and I don't know what I should be doing. It is very hard to take your greatest weakness and expose it to the world over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm frustrated and lost, but I know that I can get better. I've decided just to focus on my reactions right now. I might not have a great strategy, but I'm out of ideas, and improving my reactions can only be a good thing. So, starting tomorrow, we're training reactions. First, I wanted to get good at checking drive rush. Usually I would use standing medium punch for it, but I experimented around a little bit. I needed a move that was fast but not too short range, because that can lead to a punish counter. I ended up floating around standing medium punch, crouching medium punch, and standing light punch. Also, I messed around a little bit with parry, but that might be a little too exploitable because they can still grab. I noticed I'm still getting hit by sweep because of my positioning. We talked about that, how I kind of just need to commit if he's going to walk me down. I wondered what I could do about that, and eventually I came to the idea. We jab everything. I kind of like stand light. Because I can catch people walking forward, I can kind of react to it, but then again, like we talked about, like, if he doesn't walk all the way forward, right? Let's see. If he doesn't walk all the way forward, or let's say he does like this. Light's not gonna hit here, right? I get hit for that. Because he's in perfect range. Where this will not hit him. Okay, well that means that I can whiff punish, right? Trying to wait me out and be like, okay, he's gonna hit. I can punish him for that. Keep him out of my space, because then they'll be too scared of getting hit by a light to actually move forward and put me in that bad position. Now they'll need to outspace my light, which means they have to throw higher commitment buttons in neutral. And since they won't be walking forward anymore, I have more flexibility in my positioning. This new strategy worked awesome against this Ken player. I stopped him from drive rushing and dragon lashing and forward stepping and all this stuff. I stopped him from being in my space. The only times I really lost neutral was when I started looking for other stuff like fireball and jump. But as soon as I stopped him enough times, he immediately started playing footsies with me, and I punished him for it. Yes! Oh. The good thing about jab neutral is it will work really well against aggressive opponents, and it makes them second guess getting into my space. It almost forces them to play footsies with me, and that's what I want. However, I still have to worry about jumps and fireballs. If I can deny every space except for right outside of my light range, I'll be in a great position to start whiff punishing, which is awesome for me. Out of all the strategies I've come up with for neutral, this one feels the most thought out, and its results show some promise. So now the real grind starts. I have to train myself to be ready for projectiles, anti-airs, and burst options. Next week's training is going to be brutal, and I really hope it pays off.